So if you've ever received a medical bill, and then sometimes they come as a surprise. And for me, when it came to giving birth to my daughter Quinn, I had no idea what to expect when it came to the cost of giving birth in a hospital. So in this video, I want to tell you exactly how I was able to negotiate my medical bill for my birth and actually get a 30% discount in just a few simple steps, so stick around. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. And today we are talking about how to negotiate your medical bills. I was able to negotiate the cost of giving birth inside of a birthing center that was inside of a hospital, and it was really simple. Many people don't know that you can negotiate medical bills, but the truth is there is a lack of transparency with the cost of services inside of a hospital. Also, those costs are heavily inflated, and we know that insurance companies and hospitals and medical service providers are back and forth trying to figure out how much money they can make, because hospitals are truly a business on top of actually providing care for sick people. And these two things really kind of opened up my eyes to say, well, if I can negotiate the cost of my rent or the cost of something that I find at the store, then certainly I can negotiate my medical bills. So here's exactly what I did. The first step is to review your bill. You want to make sure that you have an itemized list of all of the charges that you received. Now, I was able to do this online through a service called MyChart with my hospital, and I could see exactly all the different things that I was billed for, and then I could call the hospital billing department and then ask them to explain any of the line items that didn't make sense. So that is step number 2, is to question anything that looks kind of weird or doesn't make sense to you. In fact, I saw 2 line items for my birth that said vaginal delivery. I'm like, listen, there was only one vagina here and one delivery. So why am I being charged twice for this? So the hospital came back and told me that one charge was for the actual midwife and the second charge was for the facility or the birthing center room that I gave birth in. Now, it's not clear on the itemized list, so if it's not clear to you when you're taking a look at your medical bill, certainly call and ask them, what is this charge? Why is it called this? And help us out. The third step is to calculate a discounted cost of your bill ahead of time before you call. Now, the reason why you want to do this and the way that you can make this happen for you is if you can pay your medical bill in one lump sum over the phone, do it once, and that's how you can receive a paid in full discount. So you want to calculate that discounted price before you make the call so you know exactly how much you can afford. Now, if you can't afford the discounted price to pay it off in one payment, then this method really isn't going to work for you. It only works if you have the money available and you can say, I can pay 30% of the price today if you consider my account balance paid in full. So what I would do, and what I did with my medical bills for my birth, was I calculated what was 40% of the original price, 35%, and then I went down to 25% and said, okay, maybe I could get at least a 25% discount and have those costs calculated ahead of time so I knew exactly how much I could ask for. The fourth step is to just have a simple script available. Now, I was able to use a script from Allison Baggerly's blog post. She's with Inspired Budget. I will link to her blog post below. Also, Marilee with the Easy Budget, she also did this with her birth. Allison did this with her son who got his appendix taken out, and you can use a script in either scenario. So the script is, I'm calling about my outstanding balance and would like to take care of that today. If I pay X amount today, will my account be considered paid in full? So you're not paying the full amount, right? You're paying just a percentage of that to get that discount. And if they agree to it, then you'll want to make sure that you get a confirmation number, and that's step number 5. Ask for a confirmation number and ask who you're speaking with so that you know if there's any discrepancies or the hospital comes back and says you still owe that leftover amount, that you can reference the confirmation number, you can reference who spoke to you, and then also list the day that you were able to do this. Okay, so I am on a health insurance plan called the High Deductible Health Plan. So my premiums are really low, but I have a higher deductible to me. Now, a high deductible health plan comes with a health savings account in which you can contribute money to that health savings account and then use it to pay for qualified medical expenses tax-free. So those contributions into an HSA are before tax through a W-2 with my husband's employer, and then also his employer contributes money to that same health savings account. They're awesome. I've done a whole video on health savings account, which I will link to right up here. So before insurance kicked in with my plan, the cost to give birth was $50,704. Yes, that's correct. Anybody who's watching this from Europe, I know. Please let me be an honorary citizen in your country so that I can give birth over there for free next time. Now, insurance paid $42,377, which means I had to cover the difference. The amount that I owed was $8,326. So yes, $8,000 is what it costs for me to have a normal standard vaginal delivery with no epidural in a birthing center inside of a hospital, and that's how much I owed. So the charges included the standard vaginal delivery, no epidural. I did receive a saline injection for some back labor pain that I was experiencing. I also received Pitocin and misoprostol to stop some post-birth bleeding, and those were charges that were rolled up in kind of laboratory and medications. And I also received a ROGAM shot because my blood type is Rh negative. It's no big deal, but that was also associated with my costs. The biggest costs involved with my medical bills were the room and board inside of the hospital. So not the actual delivery, but to stay there. Now, we stayed there 4 nights because my daughter Quinn was really low birth weight for being a full-term baby. She was 5 pounds, 5 ounces, and the hospital was concerned that she was really small. They wanted to make sure that her birth weight, she was gaining weight right after birth, and so we were there for a few days extra to monitor that. So room and board for me was like $13,000. For Quinn, it was $18,000. It was just insane. Now keep in mind, insurance paid for a bulk of this, but still, we were left with this big bill. So I used that script and I called my hospital and I said, what can we do if I can take care of this bill today? And they told me that the max discount that they could give me was 30%. And so I had already calculated the 30% discount ahead of time, but the hospital billing department went ahead and did that on their end, and I confirmed that that was the correct number. So instead of paying the $8,326, I actually paid $5,847 using my health savings account to pay for my medical bills. So that's a savings of $2,479, all because I simply asked for a discount. The worst that they could say is no, and then I'd have to figure something else out. But I had the money set aside in my HSA and I was ready to go and ready to ask for the discount, and the hospital was more than willing to give me that discount. And some of you on Instagram had asked whether or not that discounted payment would get reported to insurance, and I had spoke to a couple of people on Instagram who work in the insurance field, and they said no, once the hospital and the insurance company kind of settle upon payment, that's it. Anything that the patient owes outside of that is between the patient and the care provider. So we worked that out. insurance is not going to know that I paid a discounted amount. Therefore, it doesn't affect your out-of-pocket or your deductible. So I would like to know in the comments below, have you ever negotiated a medical bill, even for birth? I think a lot of people are like, oh, maybe I could negotiate it for an accident where I broke my leg. You can also do it for birth. Let me know in the comments below if you like this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see how I negotiated this in real time, be sure to check out my highlight negotiate on Instagram and follow along. I'll catch you in the next video.